Hey, what's going on, guys? Jeremy here. So I got a pretty positive response on my last story time this past Tuesday. So I've decided what I'm going to do is instead of doing a weekly thing, I'm going to do a bi-weekly thing until I run out of interesting shit to say and really shitty stories. So once again, it's time for story time, kids. All right, so I'm just going to jump right in here this time. All right, and start off with essentially. Well, this whole video is essentially going to be about the times that my penis was destroyed. Alright, starting off with essentially, so one time, I essentially almost died. It involved me, my best friend Andrew, and my really good friend Colton. I was about 16 at the time, and right around that time I was skateboarding a whole lot, typical, teenage shenanigans, stupid shit like that. And me and my buddies went down to the local skate shop, get some new stuff, like new trucks and wheels and all that jazz. And we got back that night. And so we're sitting in Andrew's garage, and he's changing out all of his stuff and like taking off his trucks and everything like that. And as he's bent down, essentially at like a 90-degree angle, right? And being 16 at the time, and a young man, I'm like, he's formed a teepee, gotta kick him in the dick. Now, when I say I kicked him in the penis, right, I'm not saying like this was like a just like I'm gonna kick you real light and all that jazz. No. I reared back like I'm gonna punt this football like 80 yards, like this thing is going to the end zone, all that jazz. Like this kid, I kicked him so hard, he like lifted up off the ground, right? And so I sit there and I hit him, and I bolt, right? Out of the garage, into the darkness, just yeah, laughing my ass off. And so sure enough, as I'm running, I hear this object go, like swing past me into the dark. I'm like, what the hell? Hits the ground in the driveway, in the concrete. Sparks fly everywhere. And so at that point, I'm like, what the? I'm sitting there looking around in the dark, trying to find this thing, and I grab it. It's a fucking skateboard truck with no wheels in the end. Now, if you've never seen a skateboard truck, right, with nothing on it, it's essentially a metal piece with two pointy ends that you stick wheels on. Now, if either of these pointy ends had hit me in the head, I wouldn't be here telling you this story right now, because I would be dead, right? So, needless to say, I picked it up, went back into the garage, and got a little angry. Like, Andrew, what the hell, man? Like, you almost fucking killed me, right? And he's like, well, you kicked me in the dick. And I can't help but notice Colton over here sitting down just, like, losing his mind, right? Just laughing so hard. And so I sit there and I'm like, well, what the hell, man? Like, this is a bit of overkill. Like, you almost committed murder, sir. Like, you almost killed me. Well, I'm still gonna get you back later. I don't care. You pissed me off. Alright, whatever. You ain't gonna sneak up on me, right? I'm gonna see this shit coming. So sure enough, I'm sitting there later that night. We're like leaned up in his bed, just like I'm sitting there texting on my phone and junk, whatever. And he sat like right next to me. And he like real slow, just like, kind of side eyes me. And I sit there, I'm like, what? He said, you comfy? Yeah. Good. And he proceeds to hammer fist me like 5 or 6 good times, like right in the dick, right? And I'm talking like full force. This kid's throwing shit, like shoulder, hip, everything, his whole body into this thing. And I'm just like, and I'm so stunned that I can't do anything about it. And so it was awful. And I like for the rest of the night I couldn't breathe right, I couldn't move, and it was just awful because he just essentially just pulped my penis, essentially. And speaking of, destroying my penis, this kind of leads me into the next story of the tiger claw. Now, if you ever seen the movie The New Guy, right, came out a couple years ago, actually it came out a long time ago, I think like 2003, 2004. So essentially this kid, like, switches high schools, and he goes to, like, this jail and meets this guy who, like, teaches him how to, like, not be scared of bullies and, like, reinvent himself and stuff. It's kind of a funny movie. If you've never seen it, go check it out. But essentially teaches him this technique, right, of like the surprise attack. So he calls it the tiger claw. So what you do is you jump back, you scream the words tiger claw like as loud as you can while you throw your hands up in like a claw formation, and as they're distracted by your hands, you swing around and you kick him in the nuts. And so I had never seen this movie at this point. I was about 14 years old. It was me and my friend Joey, who I live with now, and my brother were at my house. And we were sitting there, like, in the pantry, like, trying to find food, just arguing, being stupid teenagers and shit like that. And Joey said something very dickish, and so my natural response was, I'm gonna hit him in the dick for being a dick. So I was like, pop! Like, pop! A little tap, right? And so, he didn't take too kindly to that. Yeah, no, he didn't take too kindly to that at all. So what he did was he pulled the tiger claw, right? So he jumps back, screams the word tiger claw, throws his hands in the air. Of course, my eyes go directly up, fearing a frontal attack, and he spins around as with everything he's got and just kicks me square in the penis. Now, I didn't block, I didn't do anything, I just crumpled like a fucking lawn chair, guys. Like I just, and just fell directly onto the ground, screaming, right? And so my mother's there because she hears all this ruckus, and she comes outside. What the hell are you guys doing in my house? They can make all this noise, all that jazz, right? And so she sees me, crumpled fetal position. I'm essentially a puddle of what used to be a young man. And then you see these two idiots over here laughing hysterically at me, right? And so she's sitting there just like, what happened? What happened? And Joey essentially explains it as, well, hate to tell you this, Melinda, but you're gonna only be getting grandchildren from one son. So, and it definitely ain't me, y'all. So, definitely ain't no good. And then, so my final story with this here essentially goes back to my best friend again, Andrew. So, Andrew, shout out to you. Thank you for these wonderful stories. So, we were teenagers. We used to do stupid shit all the time as teenagers. It was a really fun thing where I'm not sure who came up with this idea. Of essentially like a gladiatorial combat based thing that we did as teenagers. Essentially what we did was, if there's more than 2 of us at the house at any given time, right, what we do is we flip the light switch off in the dark and just start swinging, right? Because that's what you do as a teenage boy, is you make dumb decisions and hurt yourself. So we sit there, and one night it was me, Andrew, Colton again, and our friend Warren. And for the week prior to this, like Andrew kind of had like this scratchy throat, like sore throat, just didn't enjoy it. He had this chloroseptic like medicinal spray that you spray in your mouth to make your throat stop hurting. And so he had that on his nightstand. Nobody thought anything of it, right? And so sure enough, like Colton, we're all like looking at each other, just, you know, waiting for it to happen because we know it's going to happen. And sure enough, Colton just jumps up, cuts the light off, and we start going, right? Swinging, laughing. All of a sudden, in the middle of this, I hear just this little, like a little sound. I didn't know what the hell it was. And then I hear this blood-curdling scream come out of Warren, right? Just, ah, my eyes! And we're like, what the hell? So we cut the light on, and there's like Warren on the ground just covering his eyes and screaming, ah, I can't fucking see, ah. And then I see Andrew standing there with this bottle of chloroseptic, like, you know, just laughing because he just maced a kid, essentially. And so we're like, Warren, like, he hit you in the face with chloroseptic, man. He's like, who the fuck? No, that was fucking Mace. That was cherry-flavored fucking Mace. What the hell, man? And we had to sit there and, like, he didn't even see right for a couple of days after that. And the worst part was that he drove himself to his house. So he had to drive, like, to and from, like, school and work and shit with fucked up eyes and the works. And it was awful. And yeah, that's a fun introduction, essentially, to what you guys are going to be seeing on this channel for right now. Like I said, I've got a bunch of stupid stories from when I was a teenager. You guys had a pretty positive response to my last video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one as much. Thank you so much for all the subscribers, all the likes, all the views, everything. You guys are wonderful. Again, like I said, I'm going to be doing this every bi-weekly kind of thing, like every Tuesday and Thursday I'm going to be doing this storytime thing. And tomorrow, since today in America is actually National Hot Dog Day, I'll have a nice little surprise for you guys. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be really weird. So hope you guys enjoy that. But again, please share this as much as you can. Like, subscribe, give me some comments, feedback, anything would be, you know, completely like wonderful and helpful. So thanks so much, guys, and I hope you enjoy it, okay?